STLHD Nation Podcast is back. What is it? What's the date?
Today is Friday. I don't even know what the date is. It is all blended together.
It snowed in Portland, so the world is slowly grinding to a halt. I think I only got like half an inch at my house in Oregon City. I saw pictures of our buddy Dan Fisher's house was 7-8 inches.
Yeah, it's real spotty. Like,
yeah, what'd you get?
I got maybe 3 inches, and when I drove to work this morning, you could tell the difference because everything from Newburgh to almost Sherwood is basically dry, clean pavement, and then Sherwood is kind of a mess still.
Canby, Oregon City, nothing.
Yeah.
Ice.
Yeah.
But in the Midwest, people are going to laugh, you know.
Yeah.
But we're not set up for it. Everybody, I even made a Facebook post last night about your coldest day fishing, and lots of good answers. But there's a couple people from the Midwest who are like, "You guys over there make me laugh," ha ha ha, and you're like, it would be like if it snowed in Phoenix.
Yeah,
I mean, not quite, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's so odd that we get like a real wet, heavy snow that trees break. It screws everything up. We're not set up for it.
There's not enough sanding trucks. There's not enough de-icer in the state.
In fact, I heard that the city of Portland has gravel trucks and stuff that we lease out to like Burns and places like that over in Eastern Oregon to get a ton of snow. And we do that because we have them, and we can, we never need them. And then when we do need them, we're screwed. It's not like they can bring them back, and they're probably sitting in a barn over there doing nothing right now.
I remember once I was on a redfish trip in Louisiana, and it got really cold, and it was almost impossible to get home because they had no de-icer for the planes, because when the hell do they need de-icer in Louisiana?
I was in Denver one time, and I had to fly back. We were flying back to Portland, and it was 6 feet of snow. It snowed so much, and nobody flinched. Nothing. I get to the airport. I'm freaking out because I don't like to fly in the first place. I get on the plane, and they got all the de-icer out there hosing the plane down, doing everything. They got guys scraping off the windshields, and I'm just going, we're going to fly in this? Like, there's hundreds of pounds of ice on this plane, if not more, right? And they take off, and away we go, and it's like, it's what they do.
Yeah.
They're set up for it. We are not. We're not set up for it. In fact, we're so not set up for it that there was no snow in Oregon City. None. And they canceled school today.
Just in case.
Just in case.
It was the same in Newburgh. They called last night.
There's not a cloud in the sky.
It's beautiful.
Not one. It's beautiful blue sky, and they canceled school.
Did they cancel it this morning?
Last night.
Because they did it last night in Newburgh.
Yeah.
Like, they called it like 5 o'clock at night and said, we're not having school tomorrow.
Come on. I mean, it's Friday, whatever, but still. Anyway. So can you remember your coldest day fishing?
Yeah, I actually guided 2 guys from Colorado once on the Nestucca, and it had been, this is like mid-2000s, early 2010, something like that. We had a cold snap for a long time. It had been really cold for here especially, and when I drove over...
That's when we had those ice storms.
Yeah, and it was just cold. Like, it had snowed, but the snow just stayed for, like a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever, because it stayed cold, kind of like what it's doing now.
Yeah.
But when I drove over, it was 8 degrees in Grand Ronde, and the high was 14, and I remember after a stretch of days like that, and there was multiple places. We went from Blaine to First Bridge on the Nestucca, and there was multiple places where my raft would be in the water, and the shelf ice had come so far out that both oars would be like just sliding on the shelf ice. And I'll never forget, I got right below Fifth Bridge there, and there's a big slow pool, and there's a big back eddy in it, and the river had made a perfect disc of ice. It was a perfect circle, and it was just spinning in place against the shelf ice on the side, which exactly fit it. And they just like spun into this perfect polished circle, like 25 feet across, and it just sat and spun. And it was cool, actually. Yeah. But it was so cold. It was so freaking cold because it's just been that way forever.
Oh, it's miserable.
The water, I'll never forget. I fish in a run that I fished all the time, and I looked and I was like, God, like there's a stick in the water, like it barely poked out of the surface, goes all the way to the bottom, and I thought there's this is like algae growing all over that stick, and I rode over there.
Yeah.
It was actual like slushy ice that had formed its way down under the water. Water temp was like 32.5 degrees or something.
Wow.
It was not good fishing.
No, I can imagine.
It was dumb. Like you couldn't un-ice your stuff. It was stupid.
Yeah.
But they wanted to fish, and they were from Colorado.
Yeah.
So much like your airplanes, they were ready to go no matter what.
Yeah, and it's even worse when it gets windy and it's that cold.
Yeah, it was breezy all the time. It was cold.
I think my coldest day, hands down, was New Year's Day. Probably about the same time. This is when my in-laws lived in Gresham. So me, Jeff, my father-in-law, and his brother Mike decided we were gonna New Year's Day get up and walk into right there. It's something different. It's a restaurant now, but it's called like Jack's Shack or something there on the Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right in the east.
By the Troutdale Bridge. We're like, what the hell? Everybody's going to be sleeping till 10 anyway, sleeping off the night. Let's go down. We'll fish in the morning, come home and hang out and do New Year's Day stuff, whatever. So we go down there. And that storm had rolled through, east wind coming off the gorge. It was so freaking cold, and it was like blowing little ice chunks. Like the rain was just turning. It wasn't even snowing. It was just raining ice. And we get out and we looked at each other like, why are we doing this? And we walked down to the river. And by the time I got from the truck, which is not a far walk, maybe 100 yards, from the truck to the river, my bobber, my whole rig, everything that was on my rod had frozen to the rod. And I had to chip it off. I mean, it was in the truck. It was perfectly dry, but just that 100-yard walk is coated in ice. I get one cast, it would drift about, I don't know, 20 yards or 15 yards, not far at all. And the guides would freeze. Yeah. I mean, it was so cold. My hands, I have it's like an affliction, ailment, whatever you want to call it. It sounds like an old timey word for it. I have an ailment.
Got the gout.
I need a salve. But where your circulation in your fingers is really bad, and when you get cold, your hands just throb. I mean, it feels like somebody ramming 10,000 needles into my hands. The rest of my body will be fine. But that day, I mean, I had nitrile gloves on with gloves over the top, and it was still so cold that my hands hurt so bad.
In the old times, they would fix that with opium, and you would have been fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you get like the Doc Hudson's miracle cure-all elixir, and it would be like
90% alcohol.
It would be like alcohol and opium, and he would be like, I feel great. Wow, I feel fantastic.
I could jump off a cliff now.
This is awesome. Best medicine ever.
Give me 12 more bottles. Actually, in the old days, you just wouldn't talk about it because you get your ass kicked.
Or they put leeches on you. You could get leeches.
You'd go, oh, my hands hurt, and you'd get punched.
Yeah. Sissy.
Leeches. Yeah.
Leeches. They bleed you out.
Yeah. Go to the dentist. Go to the dentist, and they would drill a hole in your brain and drain a pint of blood. Yeah. Get a good bleeding. That day was so cold. I mean, we were out there for 45 minutes. It was so bad. Jeff goes, pack it up. We're out. This sucks.
Do you know, speaking of the old-timey cure-alls, did you know where the saying, blow smoke up your ass comes from?
No, but I'd love to know.
Because there was a time in wherever, because God knows people are absolutely stupid,
when they
where it was a treatment where they would like bend you over and put like a, I don't know, reverse tuba thing up your butt and blow tobacco smoke up there to cure what ails you.
Wow.
Just.
I wonder what exactly. I bet it made you have to poop.
I don't even know. Like, what did they hope to accomplish?
You chewed,
Yeah.
You know, you take a dip in the morning. What do you have to do
Not
immediately?
like coffee.
You have to poop.
Oh, but not like coffee.
Dude,
for me.
Copenhagen, I could not have coffee for 6 months. One dip in Copenhagen, I'm on the toilet. Instantaneously.
Yeah. So maybe that's what they were hoping to do. I don't know.
Like,
if
it cured constipation.
There you go. If you look at the old-timey medicine stuff, you're just like, sweet Jesus.
Oh, it's terrible.
This is weird. I think it just made you be quiet and not complain about what was bothering you, because it was way worse than being sick. You're like, you know,
No,
I don't feel good. They'd be like, let me bend you over and blow a tuba reversed up your butt full of tobacco smoke. You're like, I'd rather just
feel so much better.
Feel bad and be quiet about it.
I think you're right, though, about the elixirs. That was a big thing.
Buy them at the fair.
Yeah, or some guy would set up a little cart in the middle of town and tell you about how, you know, hire some old lady to come up and give her a bottle of his booze, his homemade corn whiskey.
Yeah, with opium.
Yeah,
now with opium.
Now
with twice as much opium.
10% more opium. Same price. Oh my gosh. You know what? Not unlike those old Outdoor Life magazines. We had a customer drop off a box full of Outdoor Life magazines one time, and all of the fishing lure ads. Same thing.
Well, they read the articles. I read the article in once, and it was like the new super secret summertime bass lure. You know what it was? Plastic worms. You were like, wow.
I went through my grandpa's tackle box one time, you know, all the stuff he got in the 40s and 50s. And they had like all kinds of propellers on them. They're huge. They articulate in like 4 different ways. 900 colors. You know, made of just straight, like steel. They're rusty as shit. You know, I mean, like
steel. You think about that though. Like, think about how that stuff was like cutting edge. Like,
yeah, because nobody knew.
New crazy thing.
Nobody knew.
Fake worm.
Nobody knew.
And nobody knew anything.
Well, and they're selling it to, much like today, sorry, tackle manufacturers, but you're selling it to the fishermen, not the fish. True. Right? The stuff in Grandpa's tackle box, I still have a couple pieces of it. It's pretty funny. And you wonder, like, did they ever catch a fish on it?
Oh, probably, because fish are stupid.
Yeah.
They'll eat anything. I mean, catch one on a corn dog if you put it in the right place at the right time, right?
What's the number one, or I shouldn't say number one. What's one thing that you bought that you thought, like a tackle thing or a gear thing that you bought that you thought, oh man, this looks so great. And then you got it and you were like, wait a minute, I've been duped. This isn't great.
I don't know. That's a tough. When I was a kid, actually, you know what it was when I was a kid?
You get smarter as you get older. But
yeah. When I was a kid, I remember buying. I bought a buzz bomb.
Nice.
And not knowing anything about it, I was like, "Wow, man! I think these probably catch a fish." I took it to a bass pond. It was not very effective. I do remember that. I was maybe like a 4th grader. Nice. And I was like, "Oh yeah, this will probably catch a fish." And no, throwing a 1-ounce buzz bomb in a bass pond doesn't do very good. It doesn't catch fish very good.
You gave it your all.
I probably lost it in 10 seconds because throwing a 1-ounce lead with a treble hook into a woody pond is not very effective.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think for me it's the again, I was maybe 15, something like that, 15, 16. I bought the Bill Dance lure retriever that looks like
was it the
chains.
Thing that you put on the deal and you slid it down?
It's got the little thing and it looks like his fish. It has the hat and everything and it had all the little chains hanging off of it and the reel on the other end, and you slide it down your line.
Okay, pull your line tight.
Yeah, slide it down your line. It's weighted and supposedly it's supposed to get in there and get it. I guess it works. I don't know. It didn't work for me. There's a lot of trees with my shit hanging in them.
You know, one of my favorites always used to be guys. I mean, how many you fish with plenty of guys that do this? They'd get a hook stuck in the tree and they'd wait or go out there and they take the tip of their rod and try and shove it off and you're like, you're gonna break however much you paid for it rod to get a $2 lure bag seems like a poor idea. Fly fishermen are the kings of that.
Yes.
You know, you're like, dude, that fly probably cost you $2.
Not even.
That rod probably cost you $400 or $600 or $800. Maybe you could just break it off and tie on a new one.
No way. You got to get that $1.50 back.
Yeah.
Oh. Speaking of that, if you just popped in my head, if you worked at the Orvis store, when you buy flies, what do you pay for a fly? Like, what's wholesale cost on a fly?
Oh, it really depends. Some are really expensive.
Like a October caddis.
Yeah, they're anywhere. Usually buying them by the dozen.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, and they're anywhere from, you know, $8-9 a dozen, up to, I mean, some flies that you see, they'll be, you know, $30 to $50 a dozen. Yeah. You know, it might be 50 or even $60 for a dozen flies. You might be paying $5 a piece for, you know, a fly. There's a big variance because even if
I'm not talking like streamers and shit, like you know, spay flies and stuff. I'm talking about just like your standard ass, like.
Yeah, even there, you know, you might still be paying $3 a fly at wholesale because you know some flies are pretty complicated. Yeah. You know, so even if you're having them tied in Nigeria or you know Taiwan or wherever they're making them, they can be pretty expensive. The markup on flies, it really isn't that high. It's not like you pay $1 for them and sell them for $6. Yeah. You know, you're generally, you know, buying for $1, selling for $2 type of thing.
Just curious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not outrageous.
So
it's a volume game.
We were supposed to be on the river right now. We're supposed to be fishing with Dan.
I know.
And
it would have been a beautiful sunny day. But it would have been cold.
It would have been cold. And those roads are still screwed. It was snowing last night in Lincoln City.
Yeah.
My mom was saying more. And they already got like 8 inches.
Dude, I saw somebody post from the coast where they already had a foot and it was still snowing yesterday afternoon.
Tillamook got hammered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have sucked.
Well, we'd still be driving, trying to get there.
It'd
be a 6-hour drive over and a 6-hour drive
10
home.
miles an hour, yeah. That sucks, though. I really wanted to go fishing, but I get it. It is what it is.
Well, just more fishing next month.
Yeah. That's true. We got a lot next. We're going to be busy next month.
Yeah.
We got Fish with Dan.
Yep.
Fish with Mike Z, right?
Yep.
Which I just saw the Fish Hunt Northwest guys did a deal with Mike Z. I want to watch it. I think they went fishing with him, and he was on their. They do like they're on like sports outdoor channel. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
it's one of those cable network things. But anyway, and then go down and fish with Chuck.
Yep.
Which that'll actually be probably pretty nice.
Yeah. Dude, they got a ton of water. I just saw
tons of water.
I just saw an article, had nothing to do with fishing, but on just like Lake Orville has it was one of the most like underfilled reservoirs in California. It got massive amounts of water.
Yeah, I saw.
It's not fixed, but it's way better than it's been in
way better
decades.
than it's been in years.
Yeah.
Same with Shasta.
Yeah.
I just saw a picture of Chuck the other day. He was fishing on Orville, and it was really high. I mean, that thing hasn't been to the top since I think that big spillway. Remember when the spillway broke?
Yeah, I don't even think it was to the. I mean, it must.
It wasn't to the top. It was high, but it wasn't to the top. The spillway just failed. Yeah.
Because it failed not at the top. It failed like partway down where they were letting water out, and it ate away the actual spillway where it was connected to the rock.
That's right.
Blew it all out. But
yeah, I'm excited to go down there, and that'll be fun. That's going to be kind of an in and out deal, but it'll be fun.
I know. I wish we were fishing for a while because it looks really fun.
Yeah. And then I get to go to Phoenix. I get to go watch a baseball game.
I'm actually not jealous of that because I don't like it when it's hot, and I don't like baseball.
It's not hot down there now. It's like 70 degrees. It's nice. So that's what we got going on. Busy month next week. New products. We got new stuff. We got the Fade In hoodie, Midway tee and hoodie, CFS Sport long sleeve. Your favorite.
Yeah, that's my new favorite long
sleeve
tee.
You're wearing it now, aren't you?
I am wearing it now. It's my new favorite long sleeve tee.
Yeah,
it's soft
very comfortable.
and it's comfortable. I like that the arms fit because
Yep.
they're a little snugger in the arms, but it's real stretchy.
Yeah.
So the arms fit awesome inside
Yep.
my hoodies. And then the body doesn't make me look like I have man boobs.
That's an important factor.
Which is an important factor in those shirts.
I put that in the item description.
No moobs.
Yeah. No moobs.
No moobs.
And what else? There was something else. We got the 1849 in the
Graft.
badge tee. Draft.
Graft
Graft.
is there.
I don't even know what stuff's called.
I know. It gets hard to remember.
Graft.
Graft is in there now.
Graft is doing well.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
all good
it's
things.
cool
You
new
ready to
stuff.
go on some trips, AJ?
Yes, sir.
You probably get sick and tired of sitting in your office, huh?
I'm itching to get back out.
Yeah. We need to go. It's time.
It is time.
We had a couple trips for this month planned, and they all got canceled.
Yeah.
That's February for you. February sucks. I wish we could just close for the month of February, like Chinese New Year,
That'd be rad. This is everybody go home for a month.
like Parisians.
yeah.
Just take a month off. It would be February.
Chinese New Year is where it's at, I think. Because don't they just,
Yeah.
like, pretty much I know from ordering stuff, like, you're not getting anything. Everybody just, like, packs up and goes home.
Not a big fan of China in many respects, but I can get down with the Chinese New Year break.
Yeah. Everybody just pack your stuff, go home and visit your family for a month. Come back in a month, go back to work.
I'm
Now,
telling you, man.
granted, they're probably all locked in a factory with
No, they get
suicide
told where to
nets
go.
to keep from jumping off at 11 months a year, but they do get a month off.
Oh, wow. A month off to jump off a cliff. I think February sucks. There's the shows, which we didn't get to do this year. If you're listening to this and you were at the sportsman shows and you notice we weren't there, it's because lots of reasons. Mainly because we were building out the retail store and staffing issues. We just didn't have the ability to be there. But next year, we got a plan, and we are going to be there. Both shows. So I'm excited for that next year, and then everything we got coming up. So, all right, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. See you guys next week or something.
Next time.
Time.
Next time.